All right, everybody. To those of you just joining us, we are live here in Mesa, Arizona, where a apartment complex is currently on fire. It started out as a first alarm, and we're currently at a second alarm. Multiple units on scene. As you can see, the smoke is still pretty heavy. We're going to move around several times to try and get a better view. But if you know anybody in this area, we're going to also get you the name of the complex in just a moment. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and on X, Valleywide News, breaking news and events here and across the valley, and we're currently live. Right off of Broadway here in Mesa. Stand by, we're going to be moving around and get you a better shot. All right, everybody, to those of you just joining us, we're moving a little closer. This is an active scene. A large apartment complex is currently on fire. A number of fire units are on scene. This is the apartment complex that we are currently at today. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and on X, as well as live on Citizen right now. So to those of you just joining us, we're here in Mesa, the apartment complex. This is the apartment complex we're currently in front of. Large fire at about an hour and a half ago started. We're going to move in closer once we are able to and get you better information. If you know anybody in this area or know anybody that lives in this apartment complex, you might want to check on them. Once again, we were asked to avoid this area. A lot of low-lying smoke. And the apartment complex is on fire. They're evacuating what looks like possibly some of these businesses in this area because of the smoke that, as you can see, right, it's pretty heavy in the area, pretty low as well. So anybody in this area is asked to avoid it if at all possible. Unfortunately and sadly, on this Friday, a number of units are currently on fire. Another of the apartments. This has been going on for quite some time, about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours at this point. Once again, it came out as a first alarm originally and quickly grew, especially with the winds today. Not too heavy, but enough that it's definitely upgraded at this point to a 2-alarm fire. You know anybody in this area or at this apartment complex, you might want to check on them. We are off of Valencia and Broadway, I believe. We'll confirm that in just a moment. Large apartment complex fire. Currently on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. We're also right now on Citizen. Those of you on Citizen, if you want to get a better view or a bigger picture, by all means, join us on Facebook. We break news all across Arizona here. Both live events like this, sad events, unfortunately, like this, I should say, as well as events across Arizona. Once again, I'll zoom into the apartment complex, so if anybody knows people in this apartment complex, you might want to pass the information along to them. I'm sure that those that might be at work and so on, obviously our biggest concern would be is if people aren't home and they have pets inside. This is extremely dangerous at this time as well, with the amount of smoke and fire that is happening. You can see multiple fire units, ambulance and rescue all at this apartment complex currently, in both directions. Please share this out to anybody you know might be in the Mesa area. Alright, to those of you just joining us, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, as well as Citizen currently. Ballywide News, breaking news and events across the valley. Central on Broadway Apartments. Central on Broadway Apartments is where we're at. A large fire about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes ago broke out. It doesn't look like they have very much control at this point of the fire. We have some decent winds blowing around, so that's not helping the situation. At least 20 or more fire crews are on scene, as well as a number of ambulances we've been seeing moving in and out. Anybody that lives in this apartment complex that may be seeing this on Facebook, YouTube, or on X, and you have pets at home, this is obviously probably a worst case scenario and sad. Those are people that might be at work and have pets at home. We're not sure the apartment building numbers that are affected right now, but it's quite a large fire and a large number of fire units and fire departments on scene currently at the second alarm fire. Once again, we're at Central on Broadway Apartments. And as you can see, heavy smoke. We'll keep you posted. Do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. As you all can see, the heavy smoke pouring out at the top of that building. I'm going to try and move just a bit closer. We're here in an empty parking lot at this time. It's just to give everybody, those that might live in this apartment complex, an idea of what building is currently engulfed. Would be just behind, if I'm facing the complex, just behind and to the left of building 13. Just to the left and behind building 13. There's two buildings. It looks like a main office, one building behind that, and then the second one is the one that is currently, from what we can see, on fire. This is the Central on Broadway apartment complex here in Mesa, and obviously large amount of black smoke pouring through the roof right now, a number of fire units, ladder trucks on scene. Do us a favor, if you know anybody that resides at the Central on Broadway apartments, please share this out to them. Obviously, once again, it's hard to see what building number is currently on fire with all that smoke, but as I can see and relay, that it's just behind building number 13, 113 to 136, and to the left of that, if I'm facing the apartment complex. That is the one that is currently engulfed and having the worst amount of smoke. Once again, we want to give everybody an idea. This is building 13 you're looking at straight ahead, and from the street level, and to the left and behind that is the apartment building that's currently on fire with large amounts of black smoke pouring through the roof. Once again, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody that's in that building, and especially any pets that might be on the inside, which is horrifying to even think about, that did not make it out. For those people that might be at work or not at home, and pets are residing in the house, or the apartment rather, at this time. Unfortunately, it's looking pretty bad as far as we can see. And once again, you can see flames shooting through the roof right now. This is Central on Broadway. Central on Broadway apartments, renovated units. And unfortunately, just behind and to the left of building number 13, two buildings behind what looks like the main apartment complex here, main area of the apartment complex. So we'll give you an idea. This is the entrance to the apartment complex. Once you go in, straight back, and it's the third building behind it is the one that is currently on fire. Large black smoke pouring through the building, and unfortunately it's not looking good for this entire building at this apartment complex. Very sad and an unfortunate way to start the weekend. So again, if you know anybody in this apartment complex that possibly could live in that building that we just explained, please share this out or call them, share this video. Once again, Central on Broadway apartments, Valleywide News, breaking news and events here and across the valley. Very unfortunate event going on here. We're going to try and get under the shade just a second here, because it is pretty hot. Winds are blowing, not too bad today, but at about 5 miles an hour or so, making it a little tough for these firefighters to get a handle on this fire. And wow, all I could say is my thoughts and prayers go out to, and all of Valleywide News go out to the families that are going to be displaced in this fire. All right, everybody, just to bring you up to speed, we were able to see it now. I wasn't able to see it from the vantage point we were at before. So to bring you up to speed, it's building number 3, 41 to 64. Building number 3, 41 to 64 at the Central on Broadway Apartments that is currently engulfed. So, you know, if you're at work and you're seeing this, we truly feel for you in this situation. Obviously, a bad situation with this apartment complex. That building currently, number 3, Central on Broadway, is currently ablaze and looks like a total loss at this point, sadly. Just to bring everybody up to speed, this is the point where it seems like, unfortunately, it just gave me goosebumps, and I hate to be seeing this, but people that live in these apartments are coming home and seeing the unfortunate events. Once again, our biggest concern is obviously the people that live here being displaced, as well as possibly those that might be at work right now and their pets are home alone. That is, of course, you know, the saddest part, not able to get out, nobody to let them out, and this is the worst part. And we are starting to see a few people that obviously live in the building that is currently on fire, coming home and coming to the apartment complex and seeing this. And obviously, we just saw one lady pass, unfortunately, in tears at the site that she's seeing at this moment. So, again, our thoughts and prayers go out to each and every person that is going to be displaced in this unfortunate and large apartment complex fire here at Central on Broadway. Building number 3, 41 to 64. The apartments 41 to 64 in Building 3. This is where the worst amount of fire currently is happening. And we're here live on the scene, Facebook, YouTube, and X, Valleywide News, breaking news and events. Those of you watching right now, you can obviously see as well the large black smoke. Now it looks like it's moved further into the building. They're applying a heavy amount of water right now to the left side that was had flame shooting through it, unfortunately, before. And now you're seeing the large smoke off to the right-hand side of that. Probably one of the worst kind of phone calls anybody can get. That's all I can say. And getting a call that your apartment is on fire. Once again, we appreciate everybody joining us, and unfortunately, this is an extremely sad day. Not a way to start a weekend for anybody, much less all these people that will be displaced at this point. Obviously, a large fire here at the Broadway on Central on Broadway apartment complex. Building number 3 is currently the building, from what we can see, that they're pouring water on, and extremely heavy damage. It looks like the entire roof has at this point collapsed. Large flames were seen earlier and now shooting through the roof. So honestly, we hope and pray that everybody was able to make it out. As well, the unfortunate part would be, and it's sad but unfortunate, that anybody that might have been at work at this time and had pets in the home, I can only imagine and hope that it didn't happen, but doesn't, obviously it's a dangerous and scary thing, pets in the house, when you're at work, and there's not much that can be done when the smoke and fire starts and spreads as quickly as this did. So we are starting to see some white smoke, but once again, this has been going on for at least, almost at this point, 2 hours. From what we can see, at least 2 hours at this point, or close to. So building number 3 getting the worst damage at this point, and sadly, it looks like a pretty much total loss on that particular building. Once again, if you know anybody that lives in the Central on Broadway apartment complex here in Mesa, Arizona, building number 3 is the building that is most affected. It's hard to see that building right now because there's a lot of white smoke. Heavy amounts of water are being poured on it. The wind just shifted in our direction. So once again, a horrific scene here. And an unfortunate and sad event. And we are starting to see, once again, as we said, people that must live in that building or apartment comp building coming back to see what's going on here. At this point, we can't see, just so everybody knows, we can't monitor chat and everything. We will let you know that we're just now starting to see other units. Obviously, a lot of fire departments are here on scene. Last we saw were at least 15 to 20 fire trucks. Just now seeing ladder 602 from the Scottsdale Fire Department pulling up. So a lot of fire departments helping out in this extremely large apartment complex fire in Mesa, Central on Broadway. Once again, those of you just joining us, we're Valleywide News, breaking news and events here and across the valley. Unfortunately, on a very sad day and breaking news, we're at the Central on Broadway apartment complex, building number 3, units 41 to 64. Building 3, units 41 to 64 are currently, from what we can see, I don't know if there are any other buildings involved. However, the building that was fully engulfed and is what's in front of us, building 3, 41 to 64. A sad day for those of you that are, and those people that are going to be displaced. We can only hope that everybody made it out safely, and that no pets are missing in the apartments and unable to get out, for people that might be at work or not at home. So once again, our thoughts and prayers go out to them. We can only hope that everybody did make it out okay. Once again, a number of fire departments are on scene. We're seeing that Scottsdale Fire Department just got here. They're suiting up. Obviously, because of the heat, and most of these fire departments will assist one another and rehab, and others go in, take over, while those that were just fighting the fire go off and rehab, check their vitals, water, fluids, and so on if they need it, to keep all the firefighters safe as well. So once again, we have Mesa Fire Department from what we can see. Scottsdale Fire just arriving. You can see a bunch of the firefighters from Scottsdale Fire Department and other agencies coming on scene right now. I guess the good news is we are starting to see white smoke. Unfortunately, this is long after a large amount of black smoke, and what looks like the roof of the building number 3 completely collapsed. And we saw flames shooting through the roof, both on the left side and the right side. So unfortunately, it looks like a complete and total loss for this building and the residents that will be displaced. So again, if you know anybody that lives in Central on Broadway, building number 3, you might want to let them know what's going on if they haven't already heard. We can tell you that we are seeing residents who are crying and sadly very extremely upset, coming home to see what's happening here. everybody. Once again. All right, everybody, we are once again live on Citizen. We kept losing connection. Our main phone that we were broadcasting on Citizen is overheating. So, once again, extremely sad day. We are at the Central on Broadway apartment complex, building number 3. Building number 3, unfortunately, is the building that has sustained at this point, from what we can see from our vantage point, the most damage. So, once again, we're at the Central on Broadway apartment complex. A large fire building breaking out on building number 3. And that would be apartments 41 to 64. If you know anybody that lives in this apartment complex, you might want to share this video. Unfortunately, the building itself, I'm not sure again if any other buildings are affected, but the building itself, building number 3, 41 to 64, from our vantage point at least, is a total loss at this point. Once again, we're seeing white smoke at times, and then obviously as the fire spreads, more black smoke. We saw earlier flames shooting through the roof on both the left and the right side. So our thoughts and prayers again go out to all the families that are going to be displaced in this apartment complex fire. It's extremely sad and unfortunate day for them, and not a way to start your weekend. We can only hope and pray that all people and pets made it out. And unfortunately, the true reality is, if people were at work and there were pets in the apartments, I can only imagine, and I hope it's not the case, but unfortunately, they might not have had such a lucky time of being able to get away or get out of the building unless people somehow let them out. So obviously that's heartbreaking in itself, as well as all these people being displaced. Valleywide News, breaking news and events here and across the valley, currently live at a large apartment complex fire at Central on Broadway here in Mesa. Once again, not sure if you can see in the distance. We're going to try and zoom in. More flames shooting through the roof right here. You see flames shooting through the roof right there. You know, this was the side of the building that we thought was somewhat under control at one point, but obviously right now, huge amounts of flames shooting through the roof at this point. Once again, it is horrible to see this. It's seeing also the people that most likely live in some of those apartments or occupy them, coming home to this horrific scene and fire. Our hearts go out to them. Truly unbelievable. Once again, we also have, from what we can see, Fire Department Scottsdale, Mesa, obviously, and other fire departments. You can see on this left side of building number 3, the top floor on the left side, completely engulfed and flames shooting through the roof here at the Central on Broadway apartment complex. Do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. If you know anybody in this area or at this apartment complex, Central on Broadway, please share this out. Building number 3, apartments 41 or units 41 to 64, currently fully engulfed at this time. You can see the apartment on the left-hand side, flames shooting through the roof and the windows. Okay. While we were pulling in here earlier, this is going on at least over 2 hours at this point. Pulling in earlier and monitoring the standard traffic, at least 20 or more units. We'll get an exact number at some point. We have Scottsdale Fire, Mesa Fire, as well as other agencies swapping out fire personnel, rehabbing. Obviously, lots of fire damage and smoke to building number 3, 41 to 64. Such a sad day and unfortunate. So again, Central on Broadway, large apartment complex fire here. All right, everybody, stand by just a moment. We're going to try and make some volume adjustments on our microphone to get a little louder here. We apologize. Stand by. All right, everybody, this should be a little better. Once again, that left side of the building, extreme amount of flames shooting through the left side of building number 3, 41 to 64 apartment units here at the Central on Broadway apartment complex in Mesa. We have seen periods of white smoke at certain points off to the left and the right side of building number 3, and not even short time later, as you can see right now, huge black smoke pouring once again from the left side of the building. Obviously, you can see through the window if I zoom in that there's a zero containment on that this structure at all. Unfortunately, it looks like things and items in the building itself keep catching fire and reigniting. But once again, we have several fire units from the Mesa Fire Department, Scottsdale, and other agencies all on scene right now, currently battling this huge fire at building number 3 at Central on Broadway. This is Valleywide News, breaking news and events here and across the valley. Do us a favor, share this out if you know anybody that lives in this apartment complex, and we can only hope and pray that both people and pets were able to make it out safely. Those of you joining us on Citizen, if you'd like to see and subscribe to us, we truly appreciate it. We're independent media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and on X at Valleywide News. Once again, everybody, you can see a large amount of smoke, both black and white smoke pouring in our direction. It's just and hard to see right now. Bear with us. How you doing?
How you doing today?
Good. How you doing? Be safe.
Been better.
Yes, I'm sure. Be safe.
Yes, I'm sure. Be safe. Yes, I'm sure. Be safe.
Just want to give a shout out to all the firefighters that are currently on scene battling not only this fire, but obviously the extreme heat today. I can only imagine, and obviously that's the reason there's so many fire departments on scene to essentially rehab all these firefighters in and out to keep them safe and keep them hydrated and their vitals in check. Once again, you can see right now, I don't know if you can visually see it, just to the right of building 3's, the windows on the upstairs floor, large amounts of flames shooting through the roof there, or what's left of it. Just to bring everybody up to speed, those of you just joining us, we are here at the Central on Broadway apartment complex in Mesa, Arizona. Building number 3, fully engulfed still at this point, almost 2 hours later. We're not sure if any other buildings behind it are affected, but from what we can see at our vantage point, and of course right now the wind is blowing in our direction, so bear with us. A lot of smoke blowing in our direction. And again, our thoughts and prayers. There's a lot of people from the apartment complex out here. Some obviously coming to realize that their apartment is fully engulfed. We saw a number of people clearly and visually upset. Once again, we can only hope that animals and all people were able to make it out safely. Obviously, this fire moving fairly quickly. Bear with me a second. It's hard to breathe, but because the smoke literally is blowing in our direction, so stand by.